Alright, so Hollow Purple is about to come out on the global version tomorrow morning. Now, before we head into the Should You Summon, what we're going to start with is first off streams upcoming, which I think deserve a bit of spotlight. Then we're going to go into Hollow Purple's kit, explain it fully, what's good, what's a bit meh, talk about the recollection bit, and then we're going to go into if you should summon or not, and what cases should you summon, what cases you shouldn't summon, and that's going to be the end of the video. So, two things. Well, two streams. We have the stream for Gojo starting at 1 a.m. Okay, now something to put a highlight to is that Zanin is saying we're going to be getting more than 1K because he says it won't be a measly 1K, right? So to me, this means at least 3,000. But you know, the people are saying mostly 3,000 max. We'll see how much they actually give out. But I just don't want to fret too much on that. But we're going to see that live together on this stream. I'm going to do viewer summons for people who want to summon. But I do want to make it clear for free to plays, like it's not something I recommend, right? It's really up to you. I'm not taking any liberties here. We're going to talk about the Should You Summon anyway. But you know, going on to the next stream is this one. Okay, I am doing a very fun video where basically you guys watch me do speedrun for 2 hours, see how far I could get by either giving a member gifting or becoming a member or donating. You could lock me from using a character or a recollection bit for one stage. And depending on how many stages I have left, every stage equals 5 push-ups for me to do, right? So let's say I have 18 stages left. That means I'll have to do 90 push-ups and I have 2 minutes to do it. No matter what, I have 2 minutes, okay? So if in 2 minutes I can't do the amount of push-ups, there's going to be a punishment, which I'm not sure what it's going to be yet. Someone said it's something very funny. And there's timestamps, by the way, if you just do want to go ahead. I always like to put timestamps for videos like this. Someone said get some ketchup and blue Gatorade, blend it, and call it the Hollow Purple Challenge. Bro, this might be what I want to do. Let me know if I should do this down below. But, so yeah, that's what we're probably going to do, but we'll see. I don't know if I want to do that yet. But there's going to be a punishment if I can't do the push-ups in time. And that's kind of what we're going to go with for this stream. So you'll be able to see me go from floor 1 to the last floor that I can. And remember, you could ban me from using Hollow Purple or Blue Gojo, right? So keep that in mind. Now then, let's head into it. Gojo's coming out. And by the way, if you did need to see when he comes out, this is the exact time he comes out. Obviously translated, you just check the stream out, like the 2 streams, turn the notifications on, and now let's start. So he comes out the 6th, and he's bringing with him a new event. And also, he's going to have a new recollection bit on his banner with a very, very cool art. One of my favorite arts in the game. Definitely one of the first ones that I discovered. So he has the same stats as Blue Gojo, which gives him the highest stats, the most inflated stats in the game alongside Red Gojo. And he has a bit of a higher ult gauge, I believe. I'm not going to go into that. Doesn't really matter. What is Blue Gojo's? Red has lower... Oh, he has the same stats. So all 3 Gojos... that have infinity, like they got the same stats, right? So he leaves after 7 turns. So if that's an instant turn off, then you don't need to summon, okay? When he performs a Black Flash, he gets increased crit rate, okay? Which is decent, okay? Now, skill 1 is a debuff. It does okay-ish damage with a high chance to crit, and then he decreases the enemy's damage, which could be pretty nice, but I don't see you using this much. The reason being, it's a Gojo. And because it's a Gojo, he has 1 cursed energy cost, but he has initial cursed energy of 30, so he's never running out of cursed energy. So a skill 2 is going to be a 30% damage increase to the enemy, okay? But you're also going to make them do 10% more damage. So they take 30% more, but then they dish out 10% more. This is a disadvantage. Whenever it says disadvantage, it means you're helping out the enemy. Then he increases his damage by 70% for 2 turns, which means technically you could only stack this once, okay? I apologize for getting it wrong in my last video, but you can only stack this once, all right? Keep that in mind. Because when you use it the second time, the first time runs out. So there is that to mention. But yeah, this is going to be a one-time stack. It's 2 turns because that only lets you use it once. Same with this, right? So you could only stack this once compared to Blue Gojo stacking it twice, right? So keep that in mind. Very important. Now, the skill 3 increases break damage. Having the ability to just increase break damage is actually very strong. But also because he's only there for 7 turns, it's not as important as it is on a unit like Toji or who else do I think it's on? I really don't know. I know there's another unit, but he's leaving my... I don't know. Anyway, it's very good for Toji is what I'm saying. So it's good for Toji because he's in the battle and he doesn't leave, right? So that's something to consider. Then he does damage, Jujutsu, and then decreases the enemy's damage. So he's like a debuffer while doing good damage. Now his ult, why it doesn't matter that it's a one-turn stack or one-time stack, is that he's a 2000% multiplier, where Blue Gojo is 1000%, which means you're just going to do more with this. But the best part is decreasing enemies' ult gauge count, which is very good for tower when the ults are super busted later on, which is why Gojo actually comes in clutch to really help this with this, right? So I would definitely say that this is huge. But the main thing we have to realize is he just does a 2000% multiplier. And then on one unit, he gets this. Everyone takes effect of this. But obviously, this is a single target thing. So while considering it's single target, you also have to consider that it's only going to matter on the boss, right? Not on the little minions. But you have to also consider he's leaving the field, okay? So once he uses this, it's going to be the last turn that you use this. By the way, you use this on the last turn. So keep that in mind. And yeah, he leaves after 7 turns and he gets attack immunity, right? He's basically Blue Gojo, but his ult is even better. That's basically it. And then he has some debuffs. That's it. That's literally it. There's not really much more to say about the GOAT, but yeah, overall, that's him. Now we could go to the Recollection bit. So the one on his banner is this one. And I'm not the biggest fan of it. I feel like non-standard just works better, but it gives the same stats as non-standard. And then you taunt for 2 turns, which actually could be very strong. I just wish you could use it like it's a 3-turn taunt, because even 2 turns doesn't feel like enough in tower sometimes. But then at dupe 3, it goes down to 6 turns, which means you could use this for the last turn, which is okay, I guess. Now here, basically, at the start of the turn, if own ult gauge is full, increases own damage by 20%, and then the more turns that pass, the greater the damage increase up to 1 time per battle, and it's up to 100%. So I believe, correct me down below if I'm wrong, the later on you use this in battle, the higher the damage increase. The later this takes effect, the later you get your ult gauge, the higher damage increase up to 100%. But I feel like non-standard is just a free version, but this also could be good. It's just you need to get it to dupe 1 guaranteed, which isn't super difficult, but I don't think it's something you necessarily need. Okay, so if you get Gojo early on, I don't think you should never chase Recollection bits in this game, because there's so many good free-to-play ones that it's just not worth it in my opinion. So I would not at all chase this Recollection bit, but it's decent. Now the support, or not support, well I guess it is support, it has decently, relatively okay-ish, I'm losing my words. It has relatively even stats, and then when he uses anything, or when the person uses anything, 10% HP healed up to 20%, nothing too crazy, then a damage increase, so it's pretty mid. I would not even like use it right at all. So event memory is bad. This one's okay, but it's not something you should necessarily go for. It shouldn't be what you target if you get hollow purple early, right? And besides that, now we could talk about should you summon. Should you summon? Honestly, no. My main point is that you should save all your cubes for when Pity Transfer comes out, because that's when you get max investment. Number 2 reason is going to be because we know that we are going to be getting hollow purple on the standard banner. So yes, there's going to be a Gojo on standard coming at some point. We're already technically at Momo, halfway to Kamo, but obviously Kamo's not there yet. So at some point, hollow purple is going to be on the standard banner. If you save your standard tickets 200-300 by then, well, hey, you're going to have a pretty good shot at getting him, right? Because either way, you're not getting Gojo by Pity right now. Right, so you're just gonna have to hope for the best with more pulls is basically the way I'd go about it personally. And the third reason is that, oh, you might not have a green unit, but there's gonna be this Mahito that's gonna come out for free probably in the next month, okay? That's my guess. By Christmas or New Year's, I see this Mahito coming out. If not, it's gonna be a bit rough, I understand, but I would say that saving for this Mahito instead of investing just for tower is fine. Why? Because you're investing for simply tower if you don't care about Gojo. Okay, great. So you're telling me you're going to spend 12, 25, 30, 40k crystals, cubes, just to get back a multi? Just wait for Mahito, right? That's the thing. So I feel like Mahito is going to be good for that. It's much better than just rushing into Hollow Purple's banner when you could wait a bit and then get technically more cubes on your account and then get other units that are stronger, right? That's the way I'd go about it. So he is single target Mahito, but that is fine, we've seen. And he could work with like Itadori or Nanami if you have. Nothing too crazy, right? It doesn't need to be. So keep that in mind. But his ult is actually very good. Makes it so he takes less damage, right? And also could insta-kill. I'm pretty sure it's if his attack stat is higher than the enemy's HP, which is good at the end for Chip. If I believe that's it. But also he decreases damage received even more here. And overall, I mean, he's gonna have some pretty fun stuff, doing pretty good damage, and he's gonna get his ult decently, well, I say decently quick, but you're basically gonna be spamming this to get the 270 ult gauge. Overall, Mahito is worth, and he's a free unit. The reason why I'm emphasizing this, I don't know if I said, I just kind of assumed you knew because of how many times I've talked about it, but Mahito is a free unit. So you are fine to save for this guy and save, right? Save your domain investigation coins, get him to dupe 1, dupe 2, then he has higher stats than your average SSR, and that's even better. So I think that's probably the best way to go about it. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you're doing. Okay, and I hope to see you guys for the stream for domain, Hollow, Purple, Gojo, and then later on for Tower. That's basically going to be it. Let me know what you're planning on doing, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a great night, great morning, wherever you are. Bye-bye.